What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video I have created my Southern Hemisphere Lions equivalent to what the British and Irish Lions do. Something that I think we all would be curious to see is if Southern Hemisphere were allowed to create a Lions team, who would these players be? And what a force it would be, because we all know that the British and Irish Lions over the years of history have created some magnificent teams, and hopefully all going well if next year's tournament goes on. I can't wait to see what the 2021 British and Irish Lions team looks like. But today I thought, why not create a Southern Hemisphere Lions team? A lot of people have been requesting it. Minaz, shout out to you, my friend from New Zealand. You always wanted me to do this type of video, and I finally thought, let's get to this one. Now, we got the nations and we've got some quality players. And obviously certain nations are going to miss out on a lot of players, and some will get more due to their history and what they've produced over the years. Now, I've tried to leave out the guys who have retired or the guys who have gone overseas. I've included one, but I only realized this once I've started creating my team. So we've gone for a team that's pretty much today you'd say a modern team that could be selected right now, minus the rules of, you know, going overseas, not being able to play for your international team. I haven't really gone for that, but I've gone for the Southern Hemisphere squad that I think is a strong one. But obviously we'll all have our own opinions on who should or shouldn't be in. I know there's going to be a debate on probably 2 or 3 players in my squad, but hey, we're all entitled to our own opinions. And that's what the comment section is for. Leave your squad in the comment section down below. But without further ado, here is my Southern Hemisphere Lions equivalent. There you have it. Interesting squad indeed. I've really tried to get all 4 nations in. I know I've picked 1 from one, 2 from the other, and then obviously South Africa and New Zealand dominating with an inclusion of a Fijian. So number 1, we started with the Ginger Ninja in Stephen Kitsoff. Normally it would be Beastie, but he's retired, so I went for Stephen Kitsoff. Dan Cole's number 2. I think majority would select him as your favourite hooker. He's been in great form and the dominance of that position for quite some time now. Owen Frank's number 3. He's the one who went overseas that I selected, which probably shouldn't have because of the ruling of New Zealand, but hey, it's a Lions team. Who knows what the ruling would be when selecting. 4, I've gone with the one and only Brodie Retallick. I mean, he's one of the best number 4s in the world, followed by Eben Etzebeth, who's another best number 4, but I want both these boykies in my squad, so I've put him as number 5. I think that's just what a pairing in the lineouts, and what dominance those 2 boys will bring, I believe. 6, I've gone with Pablo Matera. I think a lot of people will debate him maybe and say put Hooper in and then bring in good old Avi Sevilla. I think he would be probably the one spoken about the most, who maybe should have been included in the squad, but I've gone with Pablo. He's a solid Argentine, and he's done a lot for his country, and I think he deserves a spot in my team. 7, Michael Hooper. Probably again people would have said should have maybe put Peter Steff as 7, but again my squad will see my rules. But Michael Hooper is number 7. What a player, and a pure machine, and he's done so much for Australia and the Waratahs, one of the highest paid Australian rugby players, so he's in my squad. Peter Steff was probably the one who people will say should have maybe been at 7, but he's my number 8. Solid boykie, rugby player of the year in 2019. I believe he could do it. I mean, he started off his career, let's not forget, in 4 and 5. So I think he could do number 8 and be a solid force in it. But again, I'm doing it so I can include these quality players from around the globe. 9, gone with Faf de Klerk. I think if you had spoken to me this time last year, you would have not expected him in my squad, because obviously with Faf's box kicking, it drove me mad last year, especially in the Rugby Championship. But he's proved a lot, and he shows his worth. And when you look at highlights of him for Sale Sharks. He's really been outstanding in every aspect of the game, and who can forget the final of the World Cup? Key player who was absolutely brilliant. So Fafi is my number 9. It would have been TJ Perenara if not Faf. But 10, we're going with Andre Pollard, the most highest paid rugby player in the world today. Andre, I mean, he's just on great form at the moment. Great World Cup, great year in 2019. You'd be silly not to really select Andre. I think he's just on cracking form. Number 11, I've gone with Mr. Semi Radradra from Fiji, one of the greatest wings of all time, and I think a solid ambassador and brute force to be included in a Lions squad. Southern Hemisphere equivalent. Mean machine, one of the tops, and I could not miss him out. I've gone with Samu Kerevi from Australia as my number 12, another phenomenal talent from Australia, and I've got to put him in. Jack Goodhue from New Zealand really had a good year in 2019, showing his worth. I mean, the most thing that stands out with him obviously is his hairdo, but what a player, great player, played in the World Cup, played last year at the Rugby Championship, Crusaders Boykie as well. Solid bloke, that is. 14, the side stepper, the king, Cheslin Colby. He's never going away from my squad going forward because he's just such great talent. If you could sidestep Owen Farrell the way he did and score phenomenal tries against teams like the All Blacks, you've got to pick him in. Dynamite comes in small packages, and he is a great example of just that. And last but not least, number 15, Mr. Bowden and Barrett. He would never not be in my Southern Hemisphere squad. He's just a full-on talent. One of the top rugby players in the world. I mean, he's just brilliant. You can't not miss him out. Obviously, if Andre gets injured, he can go into fly-off. He can play fullback, which he pretty much dominated in the World Cup. So, for me, global talent that can't be missed out. So there you have it. My Southern Hemisphere Lions squad. Some interesting decisions. I know definitely the talk of Ardie Savea probably not being in would be one of the biggest debates, and having Pablo Matera in instead. But hey, these things happen. That's what a bench is for, to give people opportunities. This was just off the top who I think would be my first starting 15. And obviously for those who are missing Sia, he would be on my bench. I wouldn't leave out Cappy, but for me to go for the strongest dominant, I got to go with that 15. But let me know yours in the comment section down below. That's what it's there for. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and hopefully World Rugby one day can give us our wish to have a Southern Hemisphere Lions squad. Just imagine that. British and Irish Lions versus the Southern Hemisphere Buckaroos, or Buckaroos, whatever we can call them. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys real soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.